like that.
To show the music.
Hi, my name is Jader Salazar, and I have been in the high ticket coaching industry for over 22 years, guys. I was born in New York. I formerly studied law. I got a master's degree in political science. While I was waiting to take the bar, I met a person who was working in the high ticket sales over the phone. And he told me about the potential to make more than $200,000 a year working at Franklin Covey. That's the company that hired me. So I got an interview there and started training. I was the first trainee to close over $70,000 in 2 weeks. I made $209,000 the first year working there, and the next year I doubled that amount. It must have been about 410, 420. I can't remember, but the first year I do remember. Then I decided to create my own company. I had three different companies, three different floors with more than 60 people, marketers between setters and closers. I trained over 3,000 people during this time. And one of my companies was awarded this as the fastest growing company in 2005 by the Chamber of Commerce in Utah. Our offer, the offers we got at that point were Trump University, Robert Kiyosaki, Robert Allen, Whitney Education, and we generated 400, $600,000 a week. All right, a week. That was kind of the rate, the amounts we were generating every week. I saw an opportunity to outsource for American companies, also from South America, and I took the chance to build three call centers selling from solar panels to student loans that is more important in every business than the role of the salesperson. The role of a salesperson is to sell a product or service to potential customers or clients. This involves identifying and pursuing leads, developing relationships with prospects, educating them about the benefits of the product or service, and persuading them to make a purchase. Salespeople are the greatest single engine of the global economy, guys. One name for a salesperson is entrepreneur. Without successful salespeople, a business goes broke. And all those wonderful employees who design, build, service, support, account managers, and lead just would not have a job. As Henry Ford said it, nothing happens until someone sells something. All right. Couldn't be wiser words out there. Let me tell you why every day more companies are selling high ticket products and services over the phone. There are several reasons why more and more companies are selling high ticket services over the phone. First, cost effective. Selling over the phone can be a cost effective way to reach potential customers without the need for in person meetings or expensive advertising campaigns. Convenience. Phone sales allows salespeople to reach potential customers at their convenience without the need to travel to face meetings. Personalization. Salespeople can use phone conversations to build personal relationships with potential customers, understand the needs, and provide tailored solutions. Efficiency. Phone sales allow salespeople to reach a large number of potential customers quickly and efficiently. Number five, COVID 19. The COVID 19 pandemic has forced many businesses to pivot their sales strategies to virtual and remote methods, making phone sales a more viable options, guys. This is very important to understand why COVID changed the entire game. You must be asking yourself, how much can I make selling high ticket over the phone? Well, that's a very good question. Selling high ticket, especially for coaching and consulting services, and it is the easiest way for you to earn multiple six figures per year or a month. Generally speaking, a high ticket coaching program can cost anywhere from um, a few $1,000s to tens of thousands of dollars. Some top tier coaching charge over $100,000 for their services. As a result, the commission or income potential for selling these programs can be substantial. Suppose a company
All
selling
right,
coaching programs that
guys.
cost $10,000.
Awesome. We got some people in the house. Thank you so much for coming. Feel free to tell me, give me a heads up on the sound. If my sound is having a little bit of a hiccup. Lives have delays, guys. So every time I throw a question, like if I need you guys to ask a question or whatever, it's gonna take us a little bit of grinding to be able to line up a question. But let's do our best. Um, I'm not the most professional YouTuber, so my mic is on my face. All right, cool. All right, let's see who's in the house right now. We got Bobby and Nemo. Thank you so much for coming. Have you put the link for the meeting on school? Yeah, we did. Yes, we did. Thank you. Thank you, Nemo. That is a huge one. A bit of an echo, but sounds good. All right. Thanks for that. Um, okay, guys, do me a favor. Uh, Raise your hand if you have any echo whatsoever. Okay, I don't see anything yet. It might be a delay until I find out that you guys. All right, somebody said yes. So Marco said yes. NTM said yes. NTM, is that Evelyn? Oh, that's code word. Maybe Evelyn is there and she's bothering me. I have a little bit. I wonder what that is. Okay. Okay. Is it bearable, guys, until my assistant finds out what's going on? Is it bearable? Maybe if I adjust the volume here, that's what I'm being told. Okay, let's see. But have a little bit. No, not Evelyn. Okay, cool. But yes, it's bearable, much better. All right, actually better. Okay, awesome. All right, guys. Recommend this book, guys. I'm pretty sure some of you have read it. This is a new edition, so it's like actually the guy that published the book for Stephen Covey actually came out with the new edition. Wonderful book, man. It's a fantastic book. Awesome. All right. All right, guys, I'm gonna sort out a phone call today, just a little bit of a piece of a phone call, so that you guys can hear a sample of what we do here. We got 7 people, 2 more people came in. I'll do my best to welcome you guys when you come in. Venture is here, Marco's here. Thank you so much for coming. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to do my best to get you guys a recording so that you guys can hear what an actual call is. So I have to do a lot of role playing. It's not role playing, but listen, going through a lot of recordings. Every time we have, I'm going to make it a point to have a recording based on whatever topic we are. Somebody's raising. So Jose is raising his hand. What's going on, man? Oh, it's saying hi. All right, cool. Saying hi. All right, that's what he's doing. Saying hi. All right, perfect. All right. So I don't know if you guys noticed the title of this meeting uh, is making a reference to the psychology of the salesperson. A lot of people want to make a lot of money, guys, and I know we all want to make money, and we all want to understand the ins and outs, the technical intricacies of selling high ticket. How do I make $200,000? How do I make $300,000? And this is something that I learned throughout the years of training so many people, in sales. I've mentioned this before. I've trained over 3,000 people in sales. And there is always one thing, and this is not just with salespeople. This is with people that in the art or science of sales, and the experience that I've gotten throughout 20 plus years selling high ticket. My forte has been investments, real estate investing, stock market, even e-commerce. People that want to become entrepreneurs in the e-commerce business, or investors in real estate, or any other type of. Back in the day, it was eBay. If you talked about online businesses, and this is one of the things that I always um, noticed about human beings. When I train people, I often ask them, "How much money do you want to make in this field?" After they hear all the promises of how much money you can potentially make in it. When I came into the industry, I did what I was asked. They told me, if you dial and if you follow the script and if you follow the principles, you're going to make 6 figures. And in the first year, I made $209,000. I remember exactly how much I made because it was my first time making that kind of money. The following year, I knew I wanted to make more money. But I've learned one thing. This is one thing that most people never understand. Um, when I'm training people, and I ask them, and I'm not just saying people that I've trained that are brand new. Say, for instance, you got to be training people. If you have teams, if you have companies, you have to train them and train them and train them. Every week, you have training for people, just to help them sharpen up, or for them to share their wisdom as well. Uh, and one of the things that I asked always was, how much do you want to make? And if someone understood the possibilities, you always hear people saying, I want to make $200,000. I want to make $300,000. I want to make $400,000. So here's the problem with that. The problem with someone wanting to make $400,000 or $300,000 is typically you're asking people who only make 40,000 or $70,000, right? And then you ask them, how much money do you want to make? And they say $300,000. So let's put this into perspective. So if you want to make $300,000 and you're making $50,000, how many times over is $300,000 over $50,000, right? So we got 50, 100, that's twice, right? 200, that's 4 times. That's 6 times to $300,000. So that means that whatever you're doing, you're going to have to multiply your actions not just by 6, but you're going to multiply it by a little bit over. Because I don't know why, but life never gives you back what you put in. You have to always put a little bit more, right? So if someone makes $40,000 or $50,000 and they keep doing the same thing, expecting that they're going to make $300,000, mathematically, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So, a person who works from home, right? And I've lived this. This has been my personal. I'm not talking about, I think this is what happens. I've done it. I've made the mistake myself. I get up, I take a shower, or sometimes I don't. I just go to the office. I have an office right here. I get on the phone, and I want that day to be prime rib, right? I want that day that I didn't take a shower. And I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I came without taking a shower. Maybe I threw a t-shirt on, right? Not underwear. I typically wear something. So I come here and I talk like I have a big game, right? With a customer. And then I'm like thinking, well, oh man, today sucked. I couldn't close a deal, right? Guys, we have to be relevant. We have to be proportional, right? If we want to make $300,000, we can't pitch in our pajamas. We can't, pitch while we didn't brush our teeth. We have to wake up at, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. You got to go to the gym. You got to do some activity. Go walk it out, right? Walk it off in the morning. Just get your exercises. Feed yourself the right type of foods. I mean, I know I'm saying things that are probably ridiculous for some people, but if you want to up your game, this is how you do it, right? You stay physically fit, you stay mentally fit, you insert the right foods in your body, and you have the right attitude. Because guess what? You have to have the energy to be able to come up on top every single time you have a downfall, something that goes against you, right? So if you want to make $200,000 and you're not even hitting $100,000, you got to change your game. You got to get on top of the behavior that will compensate you with a 6-figure income. And then, whichever that means to you, right? Because 6 figures is not just $100,000. 6 figures, you got low 6 figures, mid 6 figures, high 6 figures, right? And I learned this very quickly in my life. I remember when I went from $200,000 to doubling that to $400,000, I was completely doing different things. I was not doing the same thing. And of course, when I started my own company, the the entire game changed. So I want you to understand that if you're not psychologically sold and committed, you're not going to be able to. I'm sorry, guys. I'm banging on the desk, but I get emotional about this. Every time that I have trainings with people, the teams that I train, is not just about the technical information that we're going to learn, because if we're not applying that technical information with the sufficient psychological input, we're not going to be able to make a difference both in our lives and in the lives of those that we're trying to impact, the customer, the prospect, right? So reading is essential, guys. Reading and being on top of things. Let me see if there's any comment here, because sometimes I get taken away. And all right. Pantera's here. Thank you, Pantera, for coming. Rosa Prada's here. Thank you so much. Venture is here. Bobby, actually better. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming, guys. All right. I want to throw a question out to you guys, and I want you to be honest. You don't need to be honest to the point that you're going to embarrass yourself, but can you guys give me two examples where you changed something in your life and it totally changed your game for the better, and you guys started making the difference that you needed to make in your life? Just one reference. I did this. I went to the gym, or I started calling more people, or whatever it is. In one that you guys kind of left unattended, and then you said, "All right, so I didn't do this, and I should have kept doing it, and I didn't do it." If you guys want to share something like that, I want you to participate. I want to make sure that we have the conversation flowing both ways. Um, Later on, when we have a bigger audience, I want to transfer this meetings to Zoom, because I want to be able to have videos available for people that want to participate as well. All right. Meditation made a great change in my life, guys. This is one of the big ones. I learned this from my mentor, a guy that I still carry in my heart, a guy that helped me tremendously in the great things that I've been able to accomplish. His name is Carlton Sheets, and those who are old like me probably remember this name, Carlton Sheets. I met Carlton right around, I think it was late, I was like 2000, 1999 or 2000, and I chased him around until I picked his brain, and he said to me one thing. He said, "Jader, if you want to become wealthy, you got to be wealthy in four different areas." And I even to this day, I still when I'm talking to customers, when I'm talking to prospects, or I'm training people, I always bring this back: four areas of success that you have to be that you have to align before you think of money. The first area of success is a spirituality. You have to be in contact with your higher power, right? I don't know what you believe in, but you gotta pick a higher power, and the higher power has to come from a good source. You have to be a spiritual guy. You have to be grateful for the things you have. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on the things that you have. Be grateful, because your higher power is going to know exactly what you need, right? Number two, be successful mentally, right? You have to have a healthy mind if you want to build wealth. Um, the human mind, and you hear me saying this, generates about 1,000 negative thoughts per day, 100 positive thoughts. Uh, Whatever you concoct inside your head is going to be the reflection of what you do on the outside. The third one is having social success. I'm sorry, physical success. To me, is going to the gym, eating healthy. If I don't do that, I screw up. If I don't go to the gym, I screw up. Alcohol, all that crap, it doesn't really bring any good things to my life, and I've been guilty of excessive use. So I gotta be in the gym. I gotta be doing the right thing, smoking and all that stuff. Eating healthy, that's part of it too, guys. Part of it. And to me, it's just essential. And last but not least, absolutely not least, is having social success. Now, like I tell people, it's not about having barbecues with friends every weekend, or going to lunch every day with somebody else, with someone different every day. It's having productive relationships, constructive relationships that can contribute, where you can contribute and people contribute back to you. If you have a toxic relationship, get rid of it, right? If you can't help, if you can't fix it. So inevitably, all those things will guide you into where you want to be financially. I'm gonna see. I've seen some comments here, so I can't wait to see what's this right here. All right, me too, Joey. Also changing my diet by cutting out a certain foods and eating others. Wonderful. I love that. That was awesome. I'm gonna call you MTM. I'm gonna call you M&M. MTM. That's good. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, doing yoga early in the morning. I think that's awesome because the body can meditate as well, right? Adrian is talking about. Oh yeah, thumbs up. Awesome. Who? Oh, Bobby said paying for education. You know what? This is what's funny. Thank you, Bobby, for bringing that up. I'm not going to degrade formal education. I think going to college, I know they're trying to turn education, formal education, into the bad guy, and I know it's too expensive. It's too general. You pay for classes that are not that we don't need in life, right? And if you want to go to college and you want to obtain a degree, obviously go for it. Yeah, you're going to pay a lot of money, but go for it. Because after all, it's knowledge, right? But here's what's interesting: people take for granted intellectual property. So people take for granted intellectual property. So did you know that intellectual property is the most expensive product that you can have? You can have the most expensive watch. I don't care. Diamonds, pearl. I don't care. But the only way that you're going to be able to buy that watch is if you have the knowledge to generate money. So if you're denigrating our intellectual property, you just don't understand how business works, right? Before investing into a business, invest into knowledge. That's the first thing, right? First thing. Um, Exceptional people. How does someone regular become exceptional? Very easy, in my opinion. It's not that complicated. Do exceptional things. And what does that mean? Doing the things that most people do not want to do. Now, you guys might be asking yourselves, what does that have to do with sales? This, what I'm talking to you about, is how I talk to my customers. This is what I say to them because we're in the same boat, right? We want to make more money. Our customers, our prospects, when they invest into opportunities where they can make a lot of money, they want to make, guess what, more money, just like us. And they are human beings, just like us. So we need to have the same conversation. And this is the reason why I wanted to have this conversation today, because I want you to understand the premise in psychology of how you talk to them. And I know Bobby knows what I'm talking about. Bobby is studying this thing inside out. Am I right, Bobby? Am I right? Good. Yeah. Okay. Bobby said good. All right, let's see who else is making comments here. A bit of an echo, but sounds, oh, that's a little way back. Yes. Bobby said yes. All right, cool. Cool. Awesome. All right. Um, so how do we how do we establish a relationship to our customers? Right. Let's start talking. about some technical things. We talked last time that we were here. We were talking about the the I just started my conversation, and one of the things that I said is that you have to be confident, right? I don't care what you sell, you have to be confident. You have to display confidence. You got to be careful between the fine line between being cocky and being confident, right? Because you're not going to fly too high if you're going to become if you're going to be a cocky cat, right? You got to keep it confident. How do you measure that? How do you measure or balance that fine line? How do you stay safe with confidence? I have a very um, simple recipe to understand if you're being cocky. This goes back to everything in life. Logic. Let me explain that. There is nothing more. There's nothing stronger and more powerful than logic. If I'm logic and I know I'm being logic, just the fact that I'm conveying something that's logical will give me that confidence. When you become cocky, it's because you're conveying something that only you believe. Let me say that one more time. When you're conveying something logical, it's a general rule, it's a rule of thumb. People will not be able to articulate, argue, or antagonize against whatever you're saying. But if you're saying something that you are manifesting out of your ego, typically it's going to be something that only you believe. So let me see if I can find an example. Um, if I tell you that I am the best closer who's ever lived, am I being confident or am I being cocky? Easy, right? I'm being cocky, right? But if I tell you, I can show you how exceptional I am at closing, and I will show that by example. I'm utilizing logic. I'm saying I'm going to show you. I'm going to let you be the judge if you think I am an exceptional closer. I'm not fighting you on this. I'm not displaying my ego. I'm just being logical. Actions speak louder than words, right? That's just the way it is, right? So when you are being cocky, find yourself, find out what you're saying, and you're going to find out that sometimes I can walk into the cocky boundaries, right? I can cross that boundary, and I have to stay alert because otherwise I'm gonna make a lot of harm, to myself especially. Right? So confidence, and I give you guys some exercise for you guys to earn that confidence. Find a topic that you're the master in. Go out to somebody, talk to that somebody, and relay that topic. And you're going to be able to relay that topic like a master because you know you dominate that topic, whatever it is, sports, history, science, whatever it is that you dominate, do it. And then apply the same confidence inside your script. The same confidence. If that's going to start giving you the tools for you to be able to grow your confidence. If you think you're missing the confidence in that regard. Now, rapport. And I want to talk about something that most people and most salespeople do not understand, and is empathy. We think we understand what empathy is. We believe that empathy is when you pat somebody on the back and you tell them everything's going to be okay. We're uh, I'm sorry for whatever happened to you. You got to be relevant if you want to display natural and genuine empathy. Uh, First, empathy. You have to exercise empathy to the ability of listening to people. You have to listen to people, right? If you're not listening to people, they might be saying something, you know, uh, something negative, something that hurtful, like I lost my nephew or I lost somebody I love or whatever, right? So you got to be on the lookout because at that point you are going to slow down and you are going to express how much you feel. You're not going to go overboard. You can't, because these people don't know you. You're not going to cry with them. You're not going to make them feel like you're not going to say a prayer, right? That's not what you're going to do. What you're going to do is you're going to say, you're going to be very, very moderate in the way you're going to express your condolences. You're just going to say something like, I really apologize and I'm sorry for your loss. Is there anything I can do to help you, feel better? Right? That's something courteous that you're saying. Obviously, they're going to say, no, thank you, you're fine. It's okay, move on. Now, keep in mind that these persons try to hurt you. Ask them if they are still available for the call, if the pain they're going through is not too harsh, because if it is, they might not want to take a call with you. They're probably just being diplomatic and not telling you that they want to hang out, especially if they lost somebody close to them, right? Do not be fake in your empathy in the way you express your empathy. Here's a good example of why people sometimes do not believe in empathy displayed by salespeople. Oftentimes, I get on the phone a lot of people that tell me, I sell, I've been for the past 20 plus years, we've been selling programs anywhere between 5,000 to 50,000 dollars, right? So people have to invest, whatever it is that we're selling at that point, whether it's $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, depending, right? 30,000, whatever. Right? So we expect that the person that makes that initial contact with us, they obviously expect that they are going to be asked for money at some point, an investment. They're not dumb. Nobody is. And some people actually try to play dumb. But we all know that we're here to collect or to create a transaction. They know it. We know it. And one of the things that I tell my setters, because this typically happens when you're setting the deal, is when they say, I put so much money into these courses. I invested $10,000 into a course and I lost my money. I never heard from them. Or the advice they gave me didn't really work out. Right at that point, 80 to 90% of all the closers and setters would say, "I am so sorry to hear that. That must be terrible. That must be an incredible loss. I know how you feel." Well, number one, you don't know how they feel because you're not the one who lost $10,000, right? Now, even if you've lost $10,000 in the past, I want you to understand this. He's probably heard that before from many salespeople. A lot of salespeople probably just apologize or express how sorry they were or they are because they just happen to lose that kind of money. Well, what if instead, and this is going to be gold, guys. You want to write it down because it's gold. My take at that point is to just say they're expecting me to be sad, right, for them and say sorry. That's what they expect. Instead, I'm going to say, hey, that's awesome that you already lost money. Guess what? In the law of average, you're already losing money. You already lost money. Guess what? Now, life is about to flip. Now, The average, the log average, is about making money if you do not give up. So welcome to the club. It has to happen. If you want to make money, two things are guaranteed. One is that you're going to make money, but before you make money, you got to lose money. That's guaranteed. You're going to lose money, and you're going to constantly lose money if you want to be in this game. The trick is you got to make enough money so that when you lose money, you have created enough wealth not to even feel it, right? Because I mean, if you're a wealthy man, if you make $20 million a year, trust me, you're losing money here and there, right? But you're making money in deals a lot faster than you're losing money. So you've got to be smart in the way you display your empathy. Let's see if there's any comments here. Like, okay, it must be difficult to have real empathy to someone you don't really know. Why? Why is it difficult to have empathy towards someone you don't know? So you're telling me, Joey, that if someone has an accent that you don't know on the streets, you're not going to have empathy for that person, right? Yes, we can have empathy for people you don't know. That's completely normal, right? The problem is when you want somebody's money and they know you want their money, right? I think that's a little bit what you're always thinking about, right? This person knows I want their money, and if I feel, if I express how much empathy I have for them, they're gonna doubt that I really, and that's what we're trying to protect. Sometimes empathy does not come with a soft touch and a rose. Sometimes empathy comes with tough love. I don't know if you guys are the product of I'm the product of a mother from the 70s. My mom did not, every time I was about to fall down and I kept doing what I was not supposed to do, she wouldn't express it in the best, kindest way. She'd be a little bit upset, and sometimes she'd spank the crap out of me. So, but I knew it was for my own good, right? I mean, you're not going to spank your customer, right? But sometimes you're gonna call him on his BS. His customers will BS you a lot, buyers are liars, and they're gonna try to BS every single time. They're gonna try to tell you, and this is the reason why you have to find ways, clever ways, to find the money. Here's the problem with customers or prospects, right? Let's not call them customers yet, because they're not customers. The ones that don't have money, they will play out as if they have money. I don't know why they do this, but it's kind of human nature, right? People with no money pretend like they do have money. Not everybody, but a lot of them, right? And people with money will pretend like they don't have any money, like they can't afford it, right? So you can't just ask people. If you do it in an environment where you're dealing with business people, you can be very, very open. You can be open towards the question of, I say, for instance, I'm talking to someone who's an investor, and they're looking to invest into whatever program, investment program. One of the first things I'm going to ask that guy, because I know he's a businessman, I'm going to ask him, all right, so the entry level for this would be $25,000. You have at least $25,000 so you can sit down and talk. They're not going to take offense on it. They're business people. They know this is what happens in business. But if you tell a novice, I don't care if it's a brilliant architect, right? If it's a brilliant engineer, be careful with engineers. Engineers are dangerous, very dangerous. We'll talk about it, right? And you ask them if they have $25,000, all of a sudden they think you're scamming. You're trying to scam them. I don't know why. And I'm not just talking about those fields, those professional fields. I'm talking about truck drivers, I'm talking about nurses. They feel that if you ask them, people that do not understand money feel that if you ask them if they have money, that you are being rude. And how dare you ask me if I have money? Just the only reason why they feel that is because they just don't understand that in the business world, nobody's going to spend time with you if you don't have money. Sorry, it hurts. Too bad it hurts, but we're not here to waste time. And this is one of the reasons that when you get someone with money, with monetary experience, you treat them a lot different than someone who doesn't have any experience with money. Now, there are three types of millionaires. Now that we're talking about people with money, three types of millionaires. There is a millionaire who inherited the money from somebody, right? Just got the money, right? We don't know that person, how that person's going to react. They just got a lot of money because they got lucky, right? Their parents, whatever. The second millionaire, the type of guy who never made any attempt to take risk, but somehow life was good enough that he made investments very carefully. He never took risk. He was afraid of risk all his life, but he made some right moves, and boom, he made it. He has his money. He keeps his money. Those people are very, very backwarded in the way they understand money. They're just backwards in the way they understand money. And the third type of millionaire is a guy who came from nothing and made every single mistake, ended up on his butt, no money, and he made a lot of money, and then he lost all his money, and then he made more mistakes, and then boom, all of a sudden he learned from his lessons. Now he's got money and he's able to keep that money. Those are the best people to work with because they know they protect their money, but they're not stingy, they're not frugal, and they understand how to move forward in life with money. So you gotta really understand how those three psychological profiles work if you are ever in front of them. I typically don't waste a lot of time with people that are scared, even though they have a lot of money, and they're gonna brag. They're gonna brag about it. I have a lot of money, blah 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 blah, but they're not gonna make a move. All right. So these are kind of the background, the psychology. Any comments, guys? Any questions so far? Talking, rambling here. If you have any questions, let's address those questions. Maybe you can't because there's a delay. I'm trying to find a recording, guys, so that you can hear one of the calls. Let's see if we can find one here. All right, so I guess. All right, so I guess no questions so far. Good. So, anybody? So, how many people answered the question I asked? I know Anne answered the question. Joey answered the question. I think Bobby answered the question. If Marco wouldn't mind to indulge, that'd be great. The question, the original question was um, two events in your life. One where you implemented something that was a kind of a sacrifice, maybe, and it played out very well for you, and you made things happen just because you made a change in your life. And one where you neglected to do something that you knew you should have done, and it cost you a setback. Right? That could be a good way to put it. Okay, let's see if we can find. I want to find a call, guys, that I can have you listen to. Training the script. Right. I think I found one, guys. I want you to listen to a call. Okay, well, can I hear this call? Can you hear the call? All right, I'm trying to find a call, guys, so that yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, give me 1 second, guys, because I have here something that's going. All right, guys, give me 1 second. Just be a little bit patient because I am going to share a call. I found a call, but I have something going in the background. I don't know what it is. All right, I think I did. I did. All right, so what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to let you listen to a call. Boom, boom.
Yeah, you got we have a real big call here ready to go. Yeah, I have the wrong number. I'm glad we got the right one now.
Okay. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm preparing here. Uh,
In a normal setting, of course, this question would be,
all right, I found a call right here. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to share the screen, and I want you to listen to this call.
good afternoon, Philip. Yes. Philip, this is.
All right, let's see, because I think there are some common marker. I'm here, no questions yet. All right, perfect. Well, one of my causal mistakes was taking someone for granted, relationship-wise. Okay, that was the one that cost you, and you said education was the positive one, Bobby. Gotcha. All right, thank you very much, Bobby, for sharing that one, man. That was awesome, awesome. Marcus, I'm here. No questions yet. All right, so I'm gonna have you guys listen to this question, to this call. All right. How do I have him listen to this call?
Just let it hear it. You need to
All right, cool. I don't have to. Oh, okay, cool. All right, here we go, guys.
Jada, I'm giving you a call back from the offices of Dustin Holland. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm doing fantastic. Thanks, Philip. Philip, so I'm giving you a call, given the fact that you take this time to talk to an expert
Yep.
in the area of tax gains. Is that correct? Yes, sir. And you said your name was, can you spell it for me? Yeah, Jader, that spells just like it sounds. Jayder. Jader. Okay. Hey, so tell me a little bit about, yeah, go ahead. Nice to meet you. Good to meet you too. Absolutely. And
Now, guys, I don't know how this call is gonna go. This might I save phone calls because I need to show the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right. So let's find out what's going on. So far, the guy is kind of being a little bit quiet. I have to get him out of that one word response. To me, that's not a good. It's not good. A good sign, right? So let's see where it goes.
tell me a little bit about your background in real estate. Do you have any experience? What's going on? No experience. Um, I kind of looked at it a couple of times, but didn't have the funds really to get into it. Okay. Okay. So this is how long you've been kind of gravitating towards real estate, thinking about getting in the field? Not long, maybe about 6 to 8 months, maybe. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So funding has been the one thing that's held you back? Yeah. Yeah.
Let me know if you guys can hear him. All right.
I went to the seminar the other day, and it kind of opened up a lot of not opened up avenues for me, but it kind of gave me some insight on
may not use a lot of money to get started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Also, if you,
Okay,
if you have,
so Marco can't hear well, but Bobby can hear. It's giving me thumbs up. So, Marco, is anybody telling me? Anybody else? Please help me out. If you can't hear well, let me know. Um, to see what we could do from this end. Okay. Adjust your volume as well, right, in your device. Guys, so here I need to make sure that you guys understand what's going on with this call. Everything now that I don't know if you guys when you guys watch Cops or the show Cops or Bad Boys, whatever, right? And they tell people, or they go to court, and somebody, tell them, be careful because anything that you say can be used against you, right? Well, that's what the customer does. The prospect right now is saying a lot of things, and everything that he says, I am going to use in the call, either against him or to help him, right? But I will never allow someone to talk without me pocketing every single thing that he's saying or she's saying, right? Everything is gold. So he said two things that I'm already banking on. He said that he went to a seminar. What he tells me is he's a shopper. That's a good sign. He's a shopper. And the second thing is something that has to do with funding, right? So money is a problem to him, not money to invest into whatever it is that I'm selling, because I cannot make a judgment call until I find out about money. But money in regards to money for deals, right? People want to utilize other people's money, OPM. All right, so Marco, give me another heads up. I'm gonna play. I'll continue playing this. Give me another heads up if you can't hear.
if you have enough understanding how to monetize monetization comes in the way of other people's money, which is also nice to have access to. In fact, investors, we got this about what kind of area in the economy investors never invest their own money, they invest somebody else's money. We can talk about that, for sure. Go ahead.
I watched the video. I wasn't sure if I was on the right video. I kept trying to get, I couldn't get it on my phone. So I kind of typed in information or the website, taxingwealthbuilders.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the video. I believe that was Mr. Hahn in the video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I watched the whole video, and then I obviously registered for the phone call. I didn't get a chance to look at the gap. Was I supposed to download the books?
Yeah, it's, they have some material there to download. You weren't able to do that?
No, I wasn't able to do that, and then when I tried it again,
That's okay. Right. Just want to get a perception.
Yeah, if I take care of myself, I can say I got a group, for probably a good 10 years. And watching the video, I can see that.
So he's making the video an issue, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, very, very possible. Setting up the basis for it is probably what takes people into a threatened situation, because there's a lot of stuff, especially What how old are you, sir?
I'll be 73 this year.
Great. One of the things,
All right, cool. I'll stop right there. All right. Nice. So the guy is 73. When I tell people that I am going to find out if they qualify for our service, I'm not saying that just because I want to say that just to sound to sound like, you might not qualify, so you probably want to give me your money. It's not a trick. A 73-year-old man is just not going to have the stamina to go there and invest. Now, I'm not saying that 73-year-old people do not have, there are presidents right now that are over 70, right? So there are a lot of people, a lot of 70s is the new 50, in my opinion. But this guy was very slow. He was very, I was, can I get the money from him at some point? Yes, I can. But am I going to get the money from him when technology? He's probably not going to be the best, the most versatile as far as technology. I got to think about those things because, as an ethical man, I need to look out for people that cannot substantiate the investment with what his or she is going to accomplish inside the program. I got to be careful with that. It's a great example of a call because it shows that salespeople, we can have integrity and we can have ethical approach towards what we're doing. All right. Okay, guys. So today we talked about a couple of things. What if you're thinking that you are going to double your income? Then behave. Success is not the product of money. Money is a product of success. So you've got to be on a level that can compensate the money that you're looking for. Don't expect the money without the behavior, right? I'm sure you know that, right? But my point right here is I do have experience being poor. I have experience being poor or being broke, right? Poor is a state of mind, right? I have experience being broke, and I have experience being wealthy, and I know how you get out of being broke. I've done it at least twice, all right? So behave in a way that you want to be compensated. Show the universe that you want to be compensated with the money that you're looking to be compensated, on the level you want to be compensated. Don't just expect for the universe or God to just bring you the money. I know that when you ask for wisdom, God's not going to give you wisdom, right? He's going to give you tribulations for you to figure out how to exercise your wisdom. So if you want the money, God's going to give you plenty of opportunities. You just got to act on it, right? Also, we talked about being empathetic, having empathy towards the customer, the prospect. And empathy is not always being sad or being sorry, feeling sorry for the customer, right? We got a little bit less audience, a smaller audience than the day before, but the 7 people we got today, freaking phenomenal quality. I love having you guys here. I wish you guys could be my base forever, even if we have 1,000 guests. We're gonna keep doing these every single week because the only thing that would keep me from my goal to grow this company to where I've already done it. I've already had companies that I had to grow in the past, and I'm going to continue doing it, even if it's just 2 of you show up or it's just me and my wife. I'll continue to do it. Guys, thank you so much for showing up. And we have a community in school. There is a free course that you can sign up for. Sign up for that course. There's plenty of value there. And also there's an $97 course. It really is worth $1,000, $997, but we knock it off, by $900. So that if you are really, really willing to learn this and you want to take your first step, first get the free course, and then subsequently go for the $97 course. All right. With that in mind, guys, thank you very much. I love you guys. Thank you for attending, and let's be here on Tuesday, same time. All right. See you then. Take care, guys. Thank you for coming. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Mimo's got a question. Mimo's got a question. I'll send it to you, Bobby, in the in school. I'll send you the message. I'll send you the message there for sure. Good question, Bobby. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, cool.